Hi, welcome back to class. After this video, we have just one more video and we'll be done with the self-paced course version of strategic vision, after which you can focus on your coaching, focus on your accountability with your partner, and of course, go do the work required. We just finished talking about hard work, so it's important that you create time to do the work required. Right now, I want to take us into another part of this course, which is believe. Believe. I just want to challenge you in the next few minutes. Do you believe in what you've written? Do you believe that you deserve? Do you believe that you deserve what you are asking for? Some of you are asking for more financially. Some of you are asking for more with your businesses, asking for more with your career, asking for more with your whatever. But do you believe that this will work for you? Do you believe you qualify? Because many of us, we just say it, we don't mean it. We don't mean it because over the years, someone has said to us, it's not for your type of person. Someone has put us down over the years, and then we began to believe it that we don't qualify for the good things of life. We have negative perceptions about ourselves, and so when it comes to money, we believe we are hustling. I just the hustle. You don't even think it will add up. You don't even expect it to add up. You just feel like, eventually I go shall get 2K. You don't even think it will work. You're just, let's just do what everybody is doing because you don't believe it. Do you believe that vision? If your dream, what you wrote down in your jumpstart, if it comes to pass right now, like if anything could happen at the snap of a finger, okay, I cannot snap. My snaps are terrible. Anyway, if it could just happen in a jiffy and everything you wrote in your jumpstart happened to you, will your life be better or worse? Will it be better or will your life be worse? Because for some of us, it's like, hey, if I can just make 1,000 naira more. While that is not a big deal, are you saying you just want 1,000 naira more because 1,000 naira is all that is available in the market? 1,000 naira extra is all you need, or because you think 1,000 naira more is all you deserve? If I asked you if I wanted to sign a blank check to you, I wanted to sign a check for you, and I asked you how much should I write in it? How much should I write on the check? How much would you ask me to put there? That business you want to launch, how much do you need capital wise? Do you know it? Because if you don't know it, it means you don't even believe the business. It means you don't believe the vision. Because if you believe the vision, there is a part of your jumpstart that begins to talk about challenges you've experienced in the previous year. So if you did not feel jumpstart one and you jumped to jumpstart two, this is where I'll catch you. Because in jumpstart one, where we were talking about how you want them to introduce you if you were to be a guest speaker at an event in 5, 10 years time, right? There were a few questions that were strategically, see, we organized those questions into jumpstart one. We're asking you about the previous years, the goals you had previous years. What part of them happened? What part of them didn't happen? Why didn't they happen? What challenges did you experience? For some of us, the challenge we experience is negative self talk, is limiting belief. We just have a cap over our minds that said, oh, this can't work. For me, that cap was financial. I went to a program and I paid over 200,000 naira for it. And I was in that program still feeling like nobody will pay me 70,000 naira for a similar program I was creating. You didn't get that. I paid over 250K for a program. And I'm creating something within the same territory. Yet I believed nobody will pay me 70,000 for it. That's called a limiting belief. I didn't mind working for hours. I just didn't expect to be paid. I didn't expect to be paid. And so every time someone paid me, it used to feel like they did me a favor. Yet I spent hours on their projects. Some of those projects took as much as 50 hours from me in the space of a week, meaning I was doing more than 8 hours a day for me to have finished them in 5 working days, or I was working over the weekend in order to do 8 hours a day. Either ways, I was working myself to the bones, but I didn't expect people to pay me. At that period, I think the highest amount I was charging for anything, whether it was content you came to me for, or it was website, or it was counseling, whatever you came to me for, the cap amount on all my projects was 30,000. It was 30,000 naira. That was my cap. 30,000 naira. It didn't matter what I was doing for you. If I tell you 50, like if I push myself and tell you 50, before you blink your eye, I'll be like, no, but don't worry, you can pay me 30 because it's you. It was not because it's you, it's because there was a cap in my own head. What broke this boundary for me, and I'm going to tell you so you can go and do it as well. It was during COVID. So don't think this was too long ago. No, no, no. During COVID, I was at home. Prior to that time, I was already thinking of going back to school again. I was beginning to check for places where I could study neuroscience, as at that time I hadn't found expressive art therapy. So I still want to do something in neuroscience and then expressive art therapy as well. So I was checking for schools to do neuroscience. There's a neuroscience institution in South Africa. And so I had sent my CV hoping that there was a course around, a short course I could take, or maybe an internship opportunity, whatever it was. I just wanted to be within the neuroscience facility in South Africa. I had sent out my application to study neuroscience in Russia, I think. Yes. But then it was COVID, so I couldn't go to school to pick up my results in order to apply. So I couldn't even apply for my, what's that thing called, where you send your grade system results to the new school you're applying to. Anyway, I couldn't do that. So I started applying for a job. Man, if I can travel elsewhere to go and work, I would also be able to get my school fee and I won't be looking for the internship opportunity. So I started checking for jobs in my field. Mind you, I am hyper skilled. I'm not even bragging. I am hyper skilled. I started working when I was 15, and my first job was in a magazine company. The magazine didn't really take off, but you know when you started doing startup work, is a lot of hard work, right? So I'm used to researching. Articles used to be my specialty before I delved into poetry. Then I worked in tech as a content creator. Then I started doing everything social media. Then I went into websites. Then it's just been like a lot of skill in my life, and I love that because now my business moves on auto. When I'm to get someone to do anything for me, anything that has to do with my technicals, my digitals, I know precisely what I'm asking you to do. So here I am applying to this job to be a regional director. I wouldn't have even applied regional. Who am I to apply to be a regional director? But, guys, but I decided to check for skill sets, and I had everything on the list and more. Most times, that was those years, yeah. When I check a job, I would always tell myself that no, you don't have the educational qualification. That's what I used to use to beat myself down because I felt really bad about my first degree, that I just wanted to get an opportunity to prove that I am as intelligent as I sound. Okay? But this particular job didn't put an emphasis on the education, it put an emphasis on the skills. And I went to the skills and it was like, check, 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 check. And interestingly, it was a sexual and reproductive health. So I was a fish in the river. This was all good. Then I get to remuneration. Oh God. The remuneration was 700,000 to a millionaire. My head did poof. What? Somebody is willing to pay me a millionaire on this planet. And I'm charging people 30,000 naira. I am in my life. 30K to a millionaire. The minimum salary range for that job, according to them, mind you, this was not on the job website, this was on the NGO site. The minimum they were going to pay me when I converted it to naira was 700,000 naira. So the salary range was 700 to a million naira. Meaning, if I don't negotiate, they will still do 700. And if I negotiate and I can show them I have more to offer, they will do a million, if not above even. I just sat down. I sat down. I just sat down looking at this page like, this can't be true. This is just on the other side of West Africa. This is East Africa. This is in Uganda. So this is not some job in UK where I'll say, oh, there's money in UK. No. This is not some job in one of those European countries. I'll say, okay, it's because they have more money. They don't know what to do with their money. This is an African country. If they're putting that amount on it, they've counted their cost. They know that they cannot afford to do more than that so that they can at least pay you your basic salary. Okay? And I'm looking at it. I kept calculating the shillings back in naira. I'm like, okay, maybe this is because it's CBA rate. Let's do black market. Somebody is going to pay me a million naira. I applied for the job, but obviously due to all of the COVID and people not moving, there was no need to follow through certain things again. But it did something to my mind. It changed my belief system. It helped me know that I was deserving. Prior to that time, I think the highest anyone had ever paid me was 100,000. And the 100,000 didn't even come in like I worked for it. The 100,000 came in as a gift. So it didn't feel like salary. It felt like, oh, thank you for showing up. It felt like thank you for showing up. And it was thank you for showing up. But if thank you for showing up was 100K, imagine what would be thank you for working so hard. Imagine what would be, oh, thank you for putting in that new idea. Imagine what would be, oh, thank you for bringing up this new department that has made so much money. Imagine what would be, thank you for all the extra hours. Because I was an extra hour kind of staff. Every time I explain my job ethics to my friends, I used to always use this example back in the day. That's so much always in a sentence. Anyway, let's move on. I would come to the office and I'll be playing music on YouTube with my boss's my Wi-Fi. I will use my boss's Wi-Fi and my boss doesn't complain. Because I was the staff who dropped Friday's deliverable on Tuesday. I was the good girl. I was the staff who stayed in the office till 7 p.m. When I'd actually finished the week's deliverable as at 3 p.m. and I'm just checking next week's own to make sure it's well done. And I'm checking my colleagues' own to make sure it's on point so that all of us don't waste time in the meeting because I don't want excess AC in my life. Yet I didn't believe I was worthy of being paid. Guys, what do you believe about yourself? I want you to pick a journal, and I do it every few weeks. I ask myself, what do I think I deserve? Why do I feel I don't deserve this when one side of my eye is looking at it and eyeing it? When I started the upcycle fashion business, one of the things I asked myself was, Liza, hope the reason you're doing upcycle is not because you think you're too broke to buy a new one. It sounds hilarious, but it's true. We convince ourselves that no, I'm just trying to save the planet. Are you trying to save the planet? Are you broke? Better just say it now. Let's know what we are doing. It's not like I don't like being ambitious. It's just, are you sure that's the truth? Or that's just you trying to cut your coat in case the thing fails, nobody will know. It's not as if I don't like school. It's just that after doing my degree, I don't want to do my master. Are you sure that's the truth? Or that's you feeling like you're not very academically sound? So let nobody know that I'm not academically sound. And by the way, who told you you're not academically sound? You have a business idea and you're looking for who to sell it to. Because I know I did that as a teenager. When I had the idea for Liza Express, I kept saying it in front of people. You know that thing where they say, oh, don't share your business idea so people won't steal it. Well, I kept sharing my own, hoping somebody would steal it. Nobody did until I started it. Because a part of me felt like, how will me, it just checking me like this, how will I do that? It's impossible. I'm untrained for it. My first degree is in education. I'm a physics teacher by training. How do I go from physics to psychology? And not just go to general psychology, I'm going to a particular market. I want to be a sex therapist, sexology, sexual reproductive health, family life. This is very specialist education. Licensing to be a sex therapist in European countries will scare the living daylight out of you because of all the networks and councils and licensing bodies they have. And it's becoming the same way in Africa as well. That's how specialist the market is. So, how do I go from physics to this? Do I qualify? Many of you don't have your goals. You can't stick to your decisions. You don't have your dreams are not becoming realities because you don't believe that you're qualified to have it. You don't believe you're qualified to have a 1 million naira that is nameless. You don't believe it. You don't believe someone like you can have a nameless 1 million naira. You don't believe someone like you can have a nameless $10,000 in their account or a nameless $1 million in their account. You don't believe it. You don't believe it that someone like you can own a business. You don't believe it that someone like you can own a profitable business in 1 year. No, your ancestors told you their business took them 10 years. So, considering the way you are, your father did it in 8 years. Are you sure you will not do it in eight? If you do it in seven, you'll be faster than all of them. Really? When your capacity can make that same business profitable in 1 year or in 3 years, you're telling yourself that no, in 7 years we should figure it out because they did it in eight, so person did it in 10, so person did it in 12, and you're busy comparing yourself with everybody that failed except the people that succeeded. You left all the people that succeeded, you didn't compare yourself with them, you didn't get inspiration from them, you are only believing all the ones that didn't work. This person's relationship broke, this person's marriage ended in a divorce, therefore if I was to get married, it's not like marriages really work these days. What you believe, guys, what do you believe? I told you this video, particular one, is just about me encouraging and inspiring you and asking you a lot of questions about your belief system. Write down the things you believe about yourself. The negative ones so that you know what to work with, the positive ones so that you know what to expand on. All right? See you in our final class titled Visualize. I want you to visualize this life you want. Okay? Bye.